Welcome everyone. We will talk about risk management for supply chain in today's presentation. So understand what are the risks that pertain with the supply chain operations thereby. So what are the risks? Let us say I can count you on n numbers of risks, but it doesn't make sense until and unless you can glorify it with an example. And I'm sorry to use the word called glorify. I can show it to you or exemplify you with examples thereby. So, for example, Ericsson lost around 400 million euros, not 1, 2, 3 million, but 400 million euros after a fire at a supplier plant. Similarly, Apple faced shortage of DRAM suppliers, was closed for an earthquake in Taiwan way back in 1999. Supply chain disruption causes around 35 to 40% of the lower stock returns compared to the industry benchmark. Absolutely said. And what else can glorify it? Absolutely exemplify it. Absolutely. With the fallout of the Russian invasion of Ukraine in focusing minds of energy security in Europe. And look what has happened. The energy prices have grown skyrocketed altogether. So this is the examples of the supply chain risk thereby. So how do we mitigate such risk? The question remains the same thing. So management of supply chain risk through collaboration, probably through coordinations among the supply chain partner, so as to ensure profitability and continuity in the longest possible run thereby. This is what needs to be done every now and then. So management of supply chain risk through collaboration, coordination. If we can have multiple vendors, if we can have multiple sources, that's the best method of having a good risk management thereby. So we can have risk which is operational, which is disruption oriented. Probably to mitigate risk, we can have a supply chain management principles, the demand management, having a different sources thereby, the product management as the case might be, and the information management. So what do we look into it? There are risks. I have exemplified those risks. I have said how we can do it, mitigate it with through collaboration, coordination. The risk is always operational and disruption. See the invasion of Russia into Ukraine, what has happened. How do we mitigate it? Through information management, procuring information at the right time, the product management, the demand management, the supply chain management, or the supply management thereby. So supply network design, how do we go across with it? Number one is the network configuration. Yes, that's the way to go around it. We are looking at product assignments. We are looking at customer assignments, we are looking at transportation planning. So everything to do with network, everything to do with product assignment, customer assignment, and the best way is to going through transportation planning. Look what HP or Hewlett Packard has done it when they were routing through Malaysia versus Singapore. Exchange rate uncertainty is another modern day dilemmas that has been coming across. We are talking about consignment versus turnkey decisions as the case might be. Supplier relationships is wonderful thing that needs to be taken into consideration. We are talking about trade-offs between flexibility of short-term contract and price stability of a long-term contract. Remember, flexibility of short-term contract would be a lower price, definitely yes, but in a long-term contract, it might be on a higher price vis-a-vis the short-term thing, but there would be much stability over a longer duration. So, what do you want to go about it? Should you make a transaction on some 50 cents, 60 cents basis per unit changes, or have above average $1 price, which can be per unit basis? I'm talking about on a longer average of 3 years, 4 years duration that can be taken care of. So globalization of supply chain allows firms to have a multiple supplier. Now we are talking about supplier selection procedures, supplier order allocation. Now these are your supplier relationship. What are the trade-off? What are the globalization? How do we select them? How do we process their orders and probably award the contracts to the supplier? This is all about supplier risk management. Supplier order allocation. Now what exactly is meant by supplier order allocation? Now this is where we need to understand, not all of us, in fact not many of us, in fact it might be very crude, not 100% of all of us can pinpoint demand. There is a demand flexibility, uncertainty, and one cannot essentially predict the demand requirement. The emergency orders are there, the supply yield concerns would be very much uncertain. We are talking about lead time uncertain, whereas we are placing an order and whereas we are receiving an order, there might be changes out there, and probably what is we looking into it. Supply contract, is supply side inflexible? manage demand, uncertainty to match supply and demand. We are talking about dynamic pricing. We are talking about price postponement of the strategies as the case might be. What else can be taken care of? What else we should be doing it, which does good to the experiences thereby? Shifting demands across market. If we want to go around it, shipping it up, where things can come across, shifting demand across product per se. If we look into it, and across the product. Now let us look into demand management. Can we manage demand? Can we mitigate demand in such a fashion that we can always come up with it? Shifting demand across times. We are talking about service marketing. We are talking about revenue management. Probably the yield management we are talking around here, and the peak load pricing. The advanced purchase strategies for assured demand, as the case might be. Yes, this is a demand over a period of time. Service marketing, revenue management, yield management, peak low pricing, advanced purchase strategies for assured demand. Now, this is what SCM is all about. SCM stands for supply chain management. We're looking at advanced commitment for discount. We are processing a bulk order. We are assuring of a bulk business. We are assuring of a business in the first place. And for that, we require certain discount. Retail discounts converting part of uncertain demands to a known demand, or probably able to improve our forecast to 90-95% of accuracy level. There are certain things which will not be which we will not be able to fathom or probably guess. This is where the demand postponement comes around it. So discount for accepting late shipment, this is the penalty that we need to pay around it. If there are discounts, if there are discounts that people are pushing products onto you, probably you can have a better way of um, negotiating a better price. So demand management is all about shifting demand across the market. Across the market, I'm talking about it. We are talking about product rollover strategies. What product is available? What is applicable? How do we go across it? Solo rollover strategies by the market. Selling new products in different markets on a non-overlapping season per se. We're talking about primary and secondary market as on when on basis. We'll talk about decisions, how much to order in primary market, how much to transship, as the case might be. This is what we are elongating around here. With no secondary market and optimum order quantity to a higher segment, how do we go across it? We need to understand what are the tertiary market, the primary market, and the secondary market. If things are not being able to be pushed into the primary market, can it be pushed into the secondary market? If there are nothing that can be done, can we create a demand or probably break down the product into a certain other segment altogether? The shifting demand across product is the new mantra that comes around a large number of marketing models for pricing and brand promotions for strategies thereby. We are talking about supply chain management in terms of product substitution, in terms of reducing the variations of the aggregate demand, substituting high inventory product with a stock out product, where we are bundling out a lot of products which are stock out probably with a high inventory product which are available with us. Substituting high quality products with a low quality product, absolutely something where we need to go, and so as to reduce our inventory and probably convert our inventory into cash per se. We are talking about product bundling. Definitely, yes, I have been using the term bundling for time and again. Let us move to the product management. Yes, this is one of those components which can be probably segmented and probably can be worked around it. So postponement strategy is another strategy which can be deferred for a period of time in terms of promotions, in terms of delayed payment, in terms of delayed launches. Make to order system is where it is already customized to the requirement of the customers. So information management, can we limit this information? Can we procure this information? Can we keep abreast with the situation? Because information in today's is power, and power means you have the right power to bargain for more profits and more money. So can we come bring up with the innovative products, quick response QRTs, quick response team, the sports Obermeyer. The functional products is something which we look into with strategies based on reducing bullwhip effect, the information sharing as on when on basis, we are talking about the vendor managed inventory as far as the Barilla is concerned, collaboration for forecasting, or if we can work together as a team with all of our competitors, wherein we are assured about the market size. Once the market size has been assured, we also decide upon the market and working around it. With this, I come to an end of this presentation. Thank you very much for watching this video till the very end.